off and show you what I mean. So you're just left clicking that, and this one is another left click. Okay, so now we've got shadow protection, power wave fortitude, and inner fire on, and now all I've had to do is click on that window there. So very, very handy. Now your bars probably don't look a lot like mine. You need to go into skins and choose a skin that you actually like. There is quite a bit of configuration to be done with it. Standard is a bit more user-friendly to go with. I did like Vivid, so I chose to go with that. Now I have configured it quite a bit for myself. I'll just go through quickly each of these areas to show you. Now make sure that you do choose a darker background so that you actually know where the end of the health bar is. If you have a second group, then it's easier to see, but yeah, if you have a opaque background, then it's going to be harder to see how much health is actually needed to be at 100%. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and quickly look at that. Now, this is the healing. You can choose to have yourself up the top, have the tank up the top, things like that. Headers, I've got a very basic header. You can't actually see that it's aluminium because it's such a dark background. You can choose to have a higher, more height to the header. I've got quite a small one because I need it to be able to fit underneath my cast bar. Now, font size, you can mess around with all of those. Let's click on bars. Now if you want to have group 1 in this column and group 2 in this column, then you need to make sure that you've only got one group per column chosen. The texture, you can go through and choose different textures. There's all different types of them. I've just chosen a very basic one. Some of these could be rather distracting but pretty, so I've just chosen aluminium. Now you can choose how high they are. I'll just go back to 40, and you can choose how wide they are, so you can actually give yourself more of a square look if you're more used to grid and things like that. Now I actually don't have a space between rows, mainly so that I can fit them on in between to the bottom of the screen. Column space, I have a tiny little bit of a column space, and my incoming heals is set to 57% opacity, so that if I was to get hurt and if I was to start healing myself, you could see that the incoming heals is actually a different color, and you can actually differentiate that that is an incoming heal. Okay, so you can actually change the color. I have to rebuff myself. You can actually change the color to a black or a pink if you want pink. That actually didn't go through. There we go. Pink health bars, but I'm just going to go with basic health color. And my incoming heal is future health. You could actually have your incoming color as that if you want, if you so choose. Now your power bar size is your mana bar, your rage bar. You can increase that or have it non-existent if you don't really want them. And your aggro bar size, that's just to show who has aggro, and there'll be a red line around their bar if they have aggro. Okay, icons. I like to have all of these icons up, and I like to have them on the right hand side. Now this, you don't actually have to have that. This is just to show which class they are. I think that's under, I'll have to have a quick look through and see where that actually pops up. Anyway, you may like to configure your raid icon. So if you have a druid that's always in your group, or a paladin that's always in your group, you might like to see who is beaconed, so you know that that person's going to be getting a little bit more attention. and things like that, so that icon would show up as well. You can just put some, you could change how big you'd like the icons. Basically, that size is fine. Right side, if you want it on the bar, you can have it off the bar, below the bar. I have it on the bar. And that's icons. Now aggro, we touched on that a little bit. Basically just choose all that stuff, it just came with it. That's fine. You could actually choose a different aggro color if you so choose, and things like that. Protection, this is just about crashes and things like that. I don't actually have crash protection, but anyway. Now, if you want to cast resurrection on someone, if you type this in, it'll actually make sure that it tells the party that you're healing this person. Not really so much of an issue now that the standard UI, Rage UI, actually shows who is being resurrected at the moment. Your bar text, you could go ahead and do that. If you wanted to have different colors for different classes, you could choose to do so. You can have no names on the bars, which I think is a bit silly. Show the class on the bar or not. I have at the moment. You can have as an icon, as a text, so it actually come up and say Priest Moonglow. If you don't want double text lines, it's going to look like that. You can choose how you'd like the heals to look. I mean how many HPs you have. So I've got 130k. You could have it so it's just numbers. You could have it so it's right down to 130.2. You could have it in Ks. Have it look a bit fancier. Things like that. This is basically how much you have to heal. So if I was to fly up and hurt myself, again, there's been an easier way, I'm sure. Alright, so I need 60k, 57k. This is basically going down. This is how much I'd need to heal up to 100%. So yeah, you could have it as delta if you'd like. And as percentage. So I'm 60% health, 67% health. Let's just change it back to how much health I actually do have. So I have 92% health. I actually do see a bit of logic to showing delta. That way you can see how much you actually do need to heal to get there. That would be interesting. Alrighty, so let's just continue on. You can choose to have the text on the left hand side, on the right hand side. I'll keep mine in the middle. There's 5 different fonts to choose from. I will keep Frizz Quadrata. You can change the font size as well. You can also give it an outline if you want. I don't want one. Now icon text, so icon number basically. It's going to show a duration from 9, so you can see it counting down from 9. Once it gets to 3, duration warning is going to turn red. Now I might just make that a little bit bigger so I can actually see a bit easier. You actually might just want to have yours the size of the window, and if you take off count, it's actually going to move that plus symbol. Now moving on to QR, you can choose to monitor to remove these debuffs, also in combat. Basically because I don't have enough mouse button space, I'm actually running decursive, so a left click will remove a magic and a right click is actually cure disease. Now you can actually configure this so that when your window shows up as purple, you would choose to click the correct button to get rid of that disease and things like that. If it's if your bar's gone blue, you get rid of a magic debuff and things like that. But I'm not using that because I don't have the mouse button space. Now, buffs we touched on. Tips, make sure that you've got them in the right spot that you like. I like to have them on the right of my Healbot. And that's basically it. Thanks for watching.